Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam, and I'm back. Yes, the European Super League is over. We know that already, and we're still hearing of the fallout from that as a couple teams, and by a couple I mean like Florentino Perez and Real Madrid, I think, are on their own at the minute, cling onto the hope of the Super League. But it's dead. We all know that. It's dead. Yes, it's something they might resurrect and try to bring about in the future. And that's why it's important we continue to lobby and use this momentum to protest against these owners that have tried to do this, that are trying to do this. But the European Super League is officially dead. And it's a great time for football fans. I've got to say, I didn't expect this to happen. I really didn't expect this to happen so quickly. I had positive feelings yesterday. I was feeling more positive about it, but I didn't expect the change or the speed of change, that we saw. It ended within 24, 48 hours. It was absolutely phenomenal. We hear about City and Chelsea pulling out, Ed Woodward resigning, and then Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool and so on followed with pulling out of the competition. And we know without those English clubs, who are some of the most powerful in the world financially, the European Super League is probably a non-starter, despite how much they'll still want to make it happen. Now, we've seen the statements from a lot of those clubs, and we've seen the statements from some of their owners. Up until now, Manchester United had stayed quiet, but we now have an open letter to the fans from Joel Glazer about that. But one thing is for sure, if you look through all of the letters, all of the statements, all of those things that the clubs have released, is that these clubs are still intent on making some sort of change or power grab or getting more money for themselves. It's clear. Now, there does need to be change in football. There needs to be change in UEFA, the Premier League, FIFA, the way money is distributed, wages, salaries, transfer fees, all those kind of things have gone crazy. They do need to be sorted. The experience for the fans need to be sorted, ticketing prices. And for those fans that don't go to games as well, watching the game is incredibly expensive right now. We have known there's been a need for change for a long time in the sport. And we've been weirdly aligned with UEFA and Sky and all these people over the last couple of weeks. But they need to be able to, or days even, they need to be able to see where they've got it wrong as well over the years, because something has led us to that position. Whether it's the Premier League and the government and the FA not doing fit and proper persons tests when people are buying clubs, whether it's buying Manchester United or buying Bury, they could have prevented some of these ownerships happening earlier. Now, we do hear the government are trying to implement, or are thinking about trying to implement some legislation which could force a certain percentage of fan ownership in clubs. Now, it's probably too late for that, but it gives you a little bit of a glimmer of hope that that could be on the horizon. And without that, I find it impossible, to get the Glazers out without going from one bad to another in a form of the Saudis, because how many good billionaires are out there, do you know what I mean? But talking about these lot, they have sent us an open letter to Manchester United fans, and we'll go through it and we'll react to it as follows. The letter starts: to all Manchester United supporters, over the past few days, and this is from Joel Glazer, over the past few days we have all witnessed the great passion which football generates and the deep loyalty our fans have for this great club. First off, over the past few days, you've owned a football club since 2005 with your family, and you've not seen it then. You've not seen that passion then. You've not known how loyal these people are to the club and to the sport. Come on, man, get a grip. He then went on to say, you made very clear your opposition to the European Super League, and we have listened, we got it wrong, and we want to show that we can put things right. Now, why not liaise with supporters? You have a certain percentage of season ticket holders at the club. They send newsletters out to them on a regular basis. It's so easy to communicate with some of their fans. The members at the club. How many One United members are there? You know, they liaise and communicate with MUST, the Manchester United Supporters Trust. How easy is it for them to petition and get the opinion of fans before they do this? The trouble with these lot is, they thought because they had empty stadiums, that there wouldn't be a backlash, that the teams of the big six would just accept it because, well, we're going to be playing in European competition, and the rest of the teams, well, who cares about those scrubs? You can imagine was their mentality towards it. Well, everyone cares about football, whether we're Manchester United fans or Macclesfield fans or whatever. Everybody cares about the sport. Everyone that follows the sport has probably played from a grassroots level, had dreams of playing, and you know, you're killing those dreams if you were to do that European Super League. Absolutely killing those dreams. And you're making elite sport, and by elite I don't mean financially, I mean ability. You're making it an elite sport financially, where only the richest can enter. What would that have done for the game? The domestic game, the grassroots game. And you've made very clear your opposition in the last few days. I don't think I've ever heard a fan really for this European Super League. Whenever it's been mooted over the last couple of years, it's not hard to gauge the opinion of your fans. This is bullshit. He then went on to say, although the wounds are raw and I understand that it will take time for scars to heal, I am personally committed to rebuilding trust with our fans and learning from the message you delivered with such conviction. You're personally committed. When was the last time this fella went to... Not that I want to see him at Old Trafford, because I genuinely can't stand the sight of him. But when was the last time you went to a game? When was the last time you were genuinely bothered about the club outside of the dividends that you take out of it? When was the last time you tried to make that connection between the fans and the club stronger? When was the last time you communicated? The first time we heard from you in ages was when the European Super League was announced. What kind of joke is this? They went on to say, we continue to believe that European football needs to become more sustainable throughout the pyramid for the long term. However, we fully accept that the Super League was not the right way to go about it. In seeking to create a more stable foundation for the game, we failed to show enough respect for its deep-rooted traditions, promotion, relegation, the pyramid, and for that, we are sorry. Bollocks. You make it more sustainable. Look how much money you take out of the game, take out of the club as it is. You're not interested in making European football more sustainable. You're not interested in making it more sustainable throughout the pyramid. You're not interested in any of that. You're interested in your back pocket and your bank balance getting bigger. No ifs, buts or maybes, and you've shown that. Your whole family's shown that with your reaction, with your actions, over the last 15, 16 years in charge of this club. It's a joke. He then went on to say, this is the world's greatest football club and we apologise unreservedly for the unrest caused during these past few days. Stick it. It is important for us to put that right, he said. Manchester United has a rich heritage and we recognise our responsibility to live up to its great traditions and values. Oh, do ya? Oh, do ya? When have Manchester United acted like Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson left? When? Because as soon as he went, it fell apart. Both on and off the pitch. Recognise our responsibility to live up to its great traditions and values. Give me a break. The pandemic has thrown up so many unique challenges and we are proud of the way Manchester United and its fans from Manchester and around the world have reacted to the enormous pressure during this period. We also realise that we need to better communicate with you, our fans, because you will always be at the heart of the club. Let's see how that goes, but I won't be holding my breath, that's for sure. In the background, you can be sure that we will be taking the necessary steps to rebuild relationships with our other stakeholders across the game, with a view to working together on solutions to the long-term challenges facing the football pyramid. Right now, our priority is to continue to support all of our teams as they push for the strongest possible finish to the season. In closing, I would like to recognise that it is your support which makes this club so great, and we thank you for that. With best regards, Joel Glazer. And all I can say with that last paragraph, and it says, you can be sure that we'll be taking the necessary steps to rebuild relationships with other stakeholders across the game with a view to working together on solutions to the long-term challenges. The long-term challenges being they're not getting enough money. And with that being said, it's so important that we keep going with this momentum. I know in the past I've kind of alluded to the fact of how hard it will be to get 4 billion to get these bastards out of the club. That's nigh on impossible to be able to do that. You don't want to end up in the hands of the Saudis or anything like that. It's difficult. But one thing that gives me hope is what we've seen over the last couple of days, and the impact of fan power, but also the talk. It may be hollow, it may just be a ploy for more votes, but the talk about legislation coming in to empower fans and empower fans in terms of the ownership models of clubs, and just keep going. Let's see if we can keep this momentum. Where can we take this momentum to? Friday night, you hear about Arsenal fans protesting at their ground against their owner Kroenke. Even if you're not an Arsenal fan, you live close to the ground, go down and help them, support them. Go down and support Manchester United fans, even if you're not a Manchester United fan, at Old Trafford on Saturday at 3 o'clock. In their protests against the owners. We've seen Spurs fans, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, Leeds fans. I think we've got some momentum here at the moment. And continuing that, showing the government, lobbying your MPs, doing all that stuff. If we can get the legislation passed while there's a real appetite for it, then maybe we could see some real change. Now, we haven't at Stretford Paddock haven't organised that protest on Saturday, but we will be there because we're fans. Manchester United fans have organised it. Let's hope people turn out, and let's see where this can go. But that letter, what a load of shite. Are you lot buying it? Get your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like and comment and share and subscribing. I have been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.